Welcome to Animal Atlas. Come with us around the globe and explore the animal world and its jungle animals and desert creatures. We'll meet wildlife on the savannah and see our underwater friends. And animals from the Arctic Circle. Anywhere, everywhere animals live. It's always an adventure. Today on Animal Atlas, instead of our usual lighthearted celebration of the beauty and majesty of wildlife, we're going to get serious. Very serious indeed. The animals we'll meet today are in danger of becoming extinct. Want to meet them? Your favorite just might be among them. What does extinct mean? Extinct in the wild means the animal, like the noble white Bengal tiger, exists only in captivity. But it gets worse than that. Extinct means that there is no reasonable doubt that the last individual has died. Think of the expression, dead as a dodo. The dodo bird is not a cartoon character. This flightless bird once lived on the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean. First seen by Europeans in 1507, the dodo had completely disappeared by 1681. Before you say, well, flightless bird, what did the dumb dodo expect? Think of some other flightless birds, like the ostrich, or the emu, or the penguin. It's not wings and flight that make a bird, but feathers. Penguin feathers are adapted to the penguin's life in the Antarctic region. They are densely packed. The outer part of their feathers are waterproof, while the inner down section acts as insulation, keeping the penguin warm in the sometimes freezing water. And though penguins are flightless, their wings have become flippers, great for swimming. Other flightless birds, like the emu and the ostrich, don't need to fly. Where both these big birds come from, flight is better done on foot. These flightless birds are no dummies. They are miracles of adaptation and should be applauded. In fact, in most cases, a species' survival is threatened not because its physiological adaptations have limited its survival options, but because it crossed paths with us. Man is often nature's adversary, intentionally or otherwise. Let's take the orangutan. These shaggy redheads are the largest tree-climbing mammals and the only great apes found in Asia. Orang-utan means man of the forest in the Malay language. And indeed, watching these magnificent apes cuddle their babies contemplate life, or come up with solutions to the problems of daily living, we are reminded of ourselves. The orangutan is endangered because of what's called loss of habitat. Where this animal lives, man also lives, and our civilization is expanding. The forests are rapidly disappearing due to logging and land clearing for agriculture and oil palm plantations and human-style settlements. Orangutans dwell in trees. Deforestation means that the trees are all disappearing, and this man of the forest has no forest to call home. Habitat loss in the islands of Indonesia is also threatening the world's largest lizard, the Komodo dragon, as well as the fastest land animal in the world, the cheetah. Cheetahs come from the savanna grasslands of eastern and southwestern Africa. These solitary hunters, who are capable of running up to 70 miles per hour, once roamed on open lands now occupied by ranchers and their cattle. In fact, loss of habitat does not always mean make way for big cities. Sometimes it just means make way for Betsy the dairy cow and friends. The mighty Indian elephant is another animal who is almost extinct in the wild. Loss of habitat is to blame, but so is the fact that we humans use the Indian elephant extensively for labor. Most of us will only see this magnificent animal in the zoo, and no matter how wonderful his captive habitat might be, it's impossible not to feel sad that this behemoth can no longer enjoy the freedom of the wild. When we come back to Animal Atlas, we'll meet some more animals with stories of struggle and survival. But first, let's see if you can guess this animal fact. An animal is critically endangered if A, it faces a 50% probability of extinction in the wild within 10 years. B, its population has been reduced by 80% or more. C, its range has been reduced to 38.6 square miles. Or D, all of the above. The answer coming up when we return to Animal Atlas. We're back. Did you guess the right answer to our question? An animal is critically endangered if... The answer is, sadly, D, all of the above. Who's critically endangered? Meet the Javan gibbon. This member of the smaller ape family comes from the most populated island in the world. Heavy deforestation is underway, and the Javan gibbon, an arboreal or tree dweller, much like our orangutan, is suffering from the effects of deforestation. Less than 7,000 of these lovely animals are known to exist in the wild. The Sumatran tiger also has suffered from a severe loss of habitat. There are maybe 500 remaining in the wild, and a little more than 200 in captivity. Even more critical, meet the Mexican gray wolf. This subspecies of gray wolf is barely hanging on to existence. Less than 50 of these animals are known to exist in the wild, with 300 or so in captivity. How much worse can it get? The Javan rhino is so rare that we don't even have any footage of it. As few as 50 exist in the wild and none in captivity. In fact, all 5 existing species of rhinos are threatened or endangered, from the black rhinoceros to the white. Though rhinos also suffer from loss of habitat, they are also victims of poaching or illegal hunting. Some people believe that powdered rhino horn has medical uses, and they are willing to pay a lot of money for it. In reality, a rhino's horn is not a horn at all. Like the bony growth emerging from the skull of a goat or an antelope. But compressed keratin fibers, the same stuff that's found in fingernails and hair. Some tiger paws are valued for their magical powers. The problem? The rhinos and the tigers are slaughtered before their valuable body parts are removed. Just look closely. Horns and paws serve the animal far better than could ever serve us. The African wild dog, also called the Cape hunting dog, has had to survive attacks from many serious predators in its habitat, like lions. But these wild dogs have been called pests by man and nearly hunted to extinction while facing serious loss of habitat. If that isn't bad enough, These animals have caught diseases from domestic animals, such as parvo and distemper, which have seriously reduced their numbers. Giant anteaters, a South American wonder, about the size of a big domestic dog, eat ants and termites in great quantities. By nature, they are docile and inoffensive, but humans kill them because they mistakenly believe these insect hunters kill dogs and cattle. They don't. But these wondrous creatures are slaughtered anyway. Gorillas and bonobos, sometimes called pygmy chimpanzees, fall prey to another kind of human poachers, those who capture and kill these animals for their meat. Yes, there are people who eat animals like these. Not only do these primates suffer from loss of habitat, or live in regions where human beings are waging civil wars, but they are susceptible to becoming bushmeat, slaughtered and eaten. Endangered? How does it happen a lot of the time? Animals not in danger of extinction, of course, are domesticated animals. Animals that we have brought into our houses, and barns, and pens, to tend to our needs. Or maybe so we can tend to theirs. Though there are still some wild horses in the world, the majority of horses live with us. Llamas were once found in the wild in the Andes Mountains of South America. But several thousand years ago, we discovered just how useful they were as pack animals, or for their wool, meat, and hides. And now, they are no longer wildlife. It's true that many llamas seem happy with this arrangement, and they look quite at home in the paddock. When we come back to Animal Atlas, we'll find out what happened to the dinosaurs. But first, let's see if you can guess this next animal fact. What or who didn't kill the dinosaurs? A, an asteroid impact. B, man. C, volcanism. Or D, continental drift. Don't go away, the answer coming up right after this on Animal Atlas. We're back. Did you guess the right answer to our question? The answer is B, man. Yes, scientists don't completely agree why dinosaurs, like the Stegosaurus, vanished 65 million years ago after ruling the planet for a good 150 million years, but one thing is certain, we had nothing to do with it. When dinosaurs shuffled off to extinction, we weren't around. Thank goodness that one's not on us. There are some animals from the time of the dinosaurs who did manage to survive, like this marine turtle. One of the most graceful and awe-inspiring animals in the ocean. Marine turtles have traveled the seas for over 100 million years. Yes, they survived the cataclysmic event that wiped out the dinosaurs. But today, they are critically endangered. Why? They have been hunted near to extinction for their meat, their shells, and eggs. And they've suffered from habitat destruction, have been hit by boats, have been weakened or suffocated by pollution, and have ended up as fishery bycatch. Bycatch, or being accidentally caught in fishermen's nets, has affected the bottlenose dolphin too. The Florida manatee, a marine mammal, is also endangered. These gentle giants are plant eaters and are very slow-moving. Their numbers, too, have decreased from hunting, pollution, and habitat destruction, and injuries due to powerboats. These were the animals that were mistaken for mermaids by sailors. And as extraordinary as it sounds, these creatures are most closely related to elephants. In the wild, where they live in the warm, shallow waters along the coast, In estuaries or in canals, manatees have no natural predators. They live quietly, in small family groups or herds, spending most of their days eating or swimming slowly. Though they are mammals who breathe with lungs, they spend their entire lives in the water. Their habitat is their only means of sustained survival. A manatee can't clamber to shore and run away, any more than a dolphin can. Manatees are a legally protected species, but their numbers are still very low. Everyone who cares about these sweet creatures is very concerned. All right, not all animals who are endangered are that way because of something man has done, at least not directly. The polar bear, the world's largest terrestrial carnivore, is also threatened. He is the undisputed king of the North and has no natural enemies. But the global climatic changes are causing the disappearance of sea ice, or the territory where polar bears hunt their prey, usually seals. Hunger takes a toll on reproduction, so the population of this fearsome giant is declining in the wild. Lemurs, a group of primates unique to the island of Madagascar, like the polar bear, isn't suffering as much from hunters and poachers. Where they come from, they're considered sacred animals and are not generally killed by humans. Rather, like the orangutans and the gibbons, these lovely animals are suffering from habitat loss, from deforestation. Is the news all bad? No. There are good humans who intervene and try to halt extinction. Manatee refuges in Florida are manned by people who care and provide food for these gentle creatures. These African wild dogs are a pack of young brothers being raised and cared for in a special habitat at the Phoenix Zoo. These ring-tailed lemurs have been given their own island habitat paradise at the World Wildlife Zoo in Lichtfield, Arizona. And look, baby lemurs are the reward. At the Gibbon Conservation Center in Southern California, critically endangered Javan gibbons are reproducing, and baby Isabella is the happy result. At the Heritage Park Zoo, dedicated keepers are struggling to care for the disappearing gray wolf, while also giving another group of ring-tailed lemurs a happy home. This Arabian oryx was once one of the most rare animals in the world, but because of a captive breeding program begun by the Phoenix Zoo in the early 1960s, these exquisitely beautiful desert dwellers are making a comeback. Once, even the American bald eagle was endangered, as was the American alligator. But thankfully, both are making impressive comebacks. Perhaps one of the biggest North American success stories of them all belongs to the bison. This symbol of the Wild West, the bison is the heaviest land mammal in North America. They once covered the Great Plains, living in herds so vast that the valleys looked like a shaggy brown pelt as far as the eye could see. 20 to 30 million bison roamed the Great Plains, but in the 19th century, these massive animals were hunted for their hides and for sport, and by 1890, they almost ceased to exist. A mere 750 bison were left. Now, thanks to breeding programs, they number close to 250,000. For an animal that almost went the way of the dodo bird, that's good news. There are animals who will never live in the wild again. Their habitats are gone. But they can still live, with our help and care. Sometimes, if you squint, a zoo's meticulously designed habitats almost looks like the wild. This magnificent Barbary lion, named Solomon, reigns in splendor at Out of Africa. This Arizona countryside isn't the African veldt, but it's Solomon's kingdom nonetheless. No, the dodo wasn't dumb. He was just unlucky. He just didn't survive long enough to meet us. We're the enlightened generation. We would have helped him to recover. We're not the enemy. We're the caretakers, and thank goodness for that. Let's say hello. Let's never say goodbye forever. Or we're the dodos. Don't go away. Animal Atlas will be right back. Until next time on Animal Atlas.
Come here.
Once again, we've traveled the globe from North and South America to Africa and Asia to Australia and every fascinating place in between. We've met all kinds of incredible animals and learned some important facts about their ability to survive and flourish on our planet. And with our help, we'll make sure they're around for a long time to come. Join us next week for another amazing adventure on Animal Atlas.